The following video is one in a series on spiritual resilience training, a non-religious view of personal values and their dynamics with others. The contents reflect a variety of principles and practices of systems theory and relational counseling for team building and family resilience. Although the series is intended to support Army Corps values, each video also encourages the viewer to reflect on their current prominent values in specific situations and to consider what values may be more appropriate to means and results that are honorable and helpful with others. Chaplain Dillard initiates creating and posting these videos. Their contents and YouTube's linked videos do not necessarily reflect specific beliefs, practices, requirements, or endorsements of the Department of Defense, its subordinate organizations, or other groups with which Chaplain Dillard is affiliated. Welcome back. This is the third and final video in a series on trust. If you haven't seen the first two, please go back and watch them. They are cumulative. The first one was on the dynamics of trust, looking at the circles of proof and circles of access, and you can see the video for what those mean. The second was on hindrances to trust, and we related those to the circles of proof and access and added a couple of other hindrances, namely personal experiences they've had that may or may not have anything to do with your organization. And the fourth one was goals that they have that may be different from the goals of your organization, whether that is your family, your business, your work team, your social sports team, or whatever. All these are basic human dynamic principles that apply across the board. Today we're looking at pathways to trust, and that those need to be different within those circles, but they need to be consistent from ourselves. Take a look at the first slide and we'll begin to see what that means. For our record and for the watchers, those kind of on the outside, we need to show them what they need to see and to do that concretely. That means that we've got to give evidence. Now that might feel awkward to some of you that you would brag on yourself or brag on your organization by pointing out very specific things that you've done, but that is a way to build trust. It's not enough for you to know what you've done. Sometimes it's not even enough for them to know personally. You need to make it public. You need to announce successes, point them out, do it when you see them, do it in different circles, your A team and your B team, your offense and your defense, your inner circle of co-leaders, the people that you report to. They need to see specific evidence, quantitatively, concretely, any way and any time that you can do it, and that will build trust because it shows that you have this goal, this intention, and here are the things that you are doing physically to get there. Very, very important. For a next pathway to trust, and this specifically concerns our abilities and co-workers, we need to resource them to succeed practically according to their responsibilities. The people who work for us, whether that is one of your subordinates on your job, a lineman on your football team, one of your children in the family, they have specific roles and specific responsibilities, which means they have specific needs for information, for training in skills, for experience, and we need to resource them, which means getting them what they need, spending the money, spending the time, finding somebody, if we don't have the skills to pass along to them, bringing somebody in who can give them those skills or knowledge or experience. If we don't resource them for success, we're really holding them accountable for a goal, but we're not giving them the means to accomplish it. Building trust requires that we resource them for success. Regarding our vision and our fellow leaders, we must inspire them to move forward specifically and positively. That means that we share with them very specifically what are our priorities, because remember, we cannot accomplish everything. If you're on a football team, the offensive line doesn't have the same vision as a defensive line. If you're in a business, your section doesn't have the same responsibilities as another section, even though you work under the same supervisor above both of you. So what are your specific responsibilities, and how are you positively intending to get there, and share that vision with them? In my opinion, professionally, It's not enough for an organization of any kind to have one vision. Each section should have a vision more specific that supports the larger vision. And you need to share that especially with your fellow leaders in ways that inspire them. This is what we are going to focus on and do really, really well. This is how we're going to do it. This is when we're going to do it. These are the ways that we're going to accomplish it, and get continual feedback on how you're doing from them, so they truly feel and see that they are fellow leaders toward those specific positive goals, and they're moving forward toward that future. Next level that we see, at the heart level in our friends, we need to entrust to them who we are most deeply. If we say that they are our friends, and we don't tell them when we're struggling with some concerns, that we have some worries, that today was a real setback for us, they are not going to trust that we really count them as friends. And again, I think it's important that every organization, whether it's a family, and yes, members of the family should be friends with each other, or your work team, a social network, you need some close friends, not everybody, but some people that you can really trust, and you entrust yourself to them. When you do that, you're giving them a gift. You are literally giving them more of your heart, and they're holding it in their hands, which makes you very vulnerable to them, but it also empowers them that there's somebody special to you, and that intimacy and that power is synergistic. You become more motivated, they become more trustworthy if you've chosen well, and that relationship trickles over into everything else to empower you there as well. While those circles of proof and circles of trust may need to be different according to the circles, we need to be the same in each one of these. We need to always first check our work, our abilities, our vision, and our heart. I've said it a couple times already. We need to look at the man in the mirror first and improve ourselves so that they see we're not being hypocritical. We're not telling them to do something that we're not doing ourselves first. Doesn't mean you have to perfect it. It doesn't mean you have to announce it to everybody, but they should see that you are working on yourself in all four of those levels, and that will let them know that you're not requiring or asking something of them that you don't already see and need to improve in yourself, and something that you value improvement in your own life. We also need to initiate communications and remain open about our expectations of them and ourselves, the processes, how this is going to be done, the outcomes, and the ways ahead, whether there's been a setback or a success. We need to initiate that, and we need to remain open. I'm taking it because you're watching this video, you're probably in some position of authority. Maybe the leader, maybe a first-line supervisor, maybe a parent, but you need to take the initiative. That shows your care for them when you take the initiative, and then remain open to the communications that they bring back to you about those same subjects. With discretion, we need to quickly acknowledge our shortcomings individually to them one-on-one, and their successes publicly. As soon as you have some shortfall in your case, go to the person that is appropriate, somebody that you failed, to bring information, to meet a deadline, to co-labor with them in something. Go to them as you're able, personally, through a phone call, through an email. The more personal, the better, and the sooner the better, and admit your fault. That will let them know you value them as a person, you value the relationship, you value the task. Do that privately with discretion, but for their successes, announce them publicly, again with some discretion, because some people are easily embarrassed, but do it in a way that honors them, because people tend to repeat things for which they are honored and publicly recognized. Hope those things make sense to you. Go back, rewind this, pause the video for further reflection, make some notes, discuss it on your teams, whether that's at work, in your family, in your business, or wherever. These are basic human principles that will help you to grow as a person, especially as a leader, and to help your group grow, whatever that group is. See you next time.
At the release date of this video, I am stationed with Research Development and Engineering Command, RDECOM, at Aberdeen Proving Ground, Maryland. Because the majority of our personnel are in this area, I spend most of my time here. I do, however, travel to our distant units based on command priorities and budget. I place these videos on YouTube for broad visibility to Army personnel and their families, but I hope the videos will be helpful to others too. If you are assigned to RDECOM and want to request specific topics by video, training on site or by VTC, or confidential counseling on site or by secure webcam, you can contact me at jeffrey.d.dillard.mil@mail.mil.